My name is Jason Garber. I'm a science teacher in St. Paul, Minnesota, and I also serve on the board of directors for Launch Ministry. However, before I was either of those things, I was a youth who experienced homelessness, in fact, for most of my life. With Thanksgiving right around the corner and Christmas coming up right after that, I would like to share a part of my story so that you all watching can maybe see how an organization like Launch Ministry does not just get people meals on the holidays, but rather they support youth experiencing homelessness throughout their lives. Just as a little bit of background about me, I had experienced homelessness for most of my life. I had lived in shelters and in cars, and other situations that are not stable or ideal, especially for a young kid. As a teenager, again, I experienced homelessness, and along with this came a lack of support system. I didn't have family taking care of me. I didn't have a good, solid support system with friends. And that's part of the reason why I did not have housing. Now, Thanksgiving always hit me harder than the other holidays. I had never really had Thanksgiving dinners growing up or even as a teenager, but still, I saw my friends. Their families would gather. It's a holiday where people would come from out of town and gather around the table to eat these giant meals of food, and honestly, there was jealousy. I remember the few Thanksgivings before I started to get support where I was alone. I didn't have the big meal. I had whatever food I was able to get, and it wasn't different than any other day of the year. In fact, most of my Thanksgiving dinners as a teenager were either microwaved or something simple that could be cooked in the oven. There was no cranberry sauce, which is my favorite thing, or any other kind of home cooked meals. But more than the food is just one aspect. There was a loneliness in the fact that I did not have that community around me. I did not have the family coming from out of town. I didn't have stories to tell of an uncle and what they would do watching a football game. None of that was present for me. And that hit hard on those holidays. I remember as a young person, as a teenager, on Thanksgiving, sitting and eating whatever food I could find and just imagining my friends and their families, what they were doing. I didn't really know, but I knew it was better than what I was doing. That's where Launch Ministry comes in. When I was a late teenager, around 17 to 18 years old, I met Corey Markstadt and got involved with the very early days of Launch Ministry. And after that, not only did I have a place to have Thanksgiving, but that community, that broader community, the family that I just spoke about, that's what I got. It wasn't just about getting the meal on the day. That's not what mattered to me as a youth experiencing homelessness. What mattered the most is I had people who I wanted to be around on those holidays. That's not something that buying a meal can give you. That's something that an organization who supports youth can give you. That's what it was like for me when Launch Ministry would host big Thanksgiving dinners, big family dinners. We weren't related, but they were my family, and they still are. This holiday season, there's going to be a lot of chances for you to give to the community and help the people who are like me. When you invest in Launch Ministry, you're not just buying a meal for one person experiencing homelessness. You're not even buying 2 meals for them. You're investing in a community that will support them throughout the whole year. After the holidays are over, these youth experiencing homelessness will still need assistance. They will need stable housing. They will need supplies and food and clothes. Your investment doesn't just buy their Thanksgiving dinner, although it can. However, the lasting effect for me and for many other participants in Launch Ministry is the community aspect. You are giving Launch Ministry the means to build that community with its members. So I ask you this holiday season, please consider giving to Launch Ministry. Take my story as an example of what it can do, just having the simple act of having a dinner. Thanks, and have a good holiday season.